You ever wondered the real cost of becoming a BCBA? Hi, I'm Dom, the BCBA mom, and welcome back to my channel. Actually one of my viewers wanted me to create a video that breaks down how much I spent on becoming and maintaining my BCBA certification. Today we are going to dive into your pocket and uncover the financial journey to this rewarding career. Let's break it down. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, comment down below if you have any questions, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more content, because it just keeps getting better. Now let's get right into it. Okay. So we all know in order to become a BCBA, you have to have a graduate degree in either applied behavior analysis, psychology, or special education. There are some other related fields that you can have a master's in. But let's just break down the cost of a master's. So I will include a link that lists some of the most popular ABA programs and how much they cost. For example, I went to the Chicago School of Professional Psychology, and no one ever told me to look at the price, shop around, research the pass rate that is associated with each school and each program. No one ever told me these things. I just knew that there was a program that offered what I wanted. Fortunately for me, it worked out well because the Chicago School of Professional Psychology actually does have a really high pass rate. This is some research that you should do before choosing a school. You want to identify how much is the tuition, and then you also want to identify what is the pass rate for that school, because you may see that the pass rate and the tuition may have a little bit of correlation there. But I will say that this graduate degree is an investment. It is a requirement, so this is a step that you cannot get around. So shop around, find the right price, but that can be anywhere between $15,000, $24,000, all the way up to I seen a program that was $63,000. So shop around, ask around, and get the right price for your master's program. The second major cost is supervision. Now, the path of becoming a BCBA requires either an investment in your time or an investment in your money towards supervision. So some people have to pay for supervision. When I looked up the average cost, supervision can be anywhere between $50 to $150 per hour. And you need a total of 2,000 supervision hours in order to meet the requirements. So you do the math and total up how much it is going to cost you to get all of your supervision hours. So for those of you who don't have to pay for supervision, like me, I paid in time, which means I was given a caseload to work, but I wasn't getting paid or compensated for the work that I was doing. Ideally, you would like to get a job where you're hired as an RBT and you're getting supervision hours. So essentially you're getting paid for supervision. But a lot of people don't have that ideal situation where they're getting paid and they're getting supervision hours. Usually you pay for supervision or you get supervision for free and you don't get paid. But if you have one of those sweet jobs, you may want to keep it. The next major cost is study material. So in order to become a BCBA, you have to pass the BCBA exam. And study shows that only about 55% of people pass the exam on their first try. So if I were you, I may invest in some study material. For me, I use the BDS Modules. The BDS Modules is a very intense curriculum, but they also have a 98.5% pass rate with a money back guarantee. For some reason, I can't access how much the BDS modules are, but I remember when I took them, they were about $300 For some programs, the BDS modules are a requirement for your coursework. So not only are you paying for tuition, but you are paying for the BDS modules, and that is a requirement. Because the pass rate is so high that a lot of universities are partnering with your development solutions, or the BDS modules, and they are requiring all of their students to use this testing material instead of other testing materials that are out there. Now there are free testing materials. I will link some of those links below. There are testing materials ranging from $100 all the way to $800. You can pay to be a part of an elite study group or pay a membership to get access to study material. But this is something that you should save up for now. If you are thinking about becoming a BCBA, if you're in the process of becoming a BCBA, I would tuck some money away. I would tuck some money to the side, take some money per paycheck, tuck it to the side for expenses like this one. But I do recommend getting some type of study material. I don't know your budget, I don't know your pockets, so I'm going to give you some resources ranging from free study material all the way up to your top tier $800 study material. But if I were you, I would read the reviews, I would read their passing rates, ask a friend. Word of mouth is always really good. And then you can always join a study group, and maybe you guys can use some of this material together. Next thing you'll have to pay for is your BCBA application fee. This is the money you pay to the BACB to apply to sit for the exam. You have to pay $240 to the BACB plus another $125 to the testing center for your exam. If your application is incomplete, they may charge you an additional $50. And if there are insufficient funds in your account, you may get an additional $45 fee for that. Don't spend all your money on your testing material and your supervision and don't have enough money to actually apply to sit for your exam. Let's prioritize all of these. Let's prioritize. So, after you become a BCBA, those bills just keep on rolling in. The first thing that you are going to have to pay for is, let's say you get a new job. You may have to, the first thing I had to pay for was my transcripts. So you are applying to all of these jobs. Most of these professional level jobs that we are going to be applying for, they're going to ask for your official transcripts. So get in the habit of getting those out pretty rapidly. That could be anywhere between $11 to $22 depending on your university. As a new BCBA, you also may want to upgrade your wardrobe. So for me, buying new clothes, it was more of a reinforcer, but I also knew that I needed clothes. I don't know about you, but figuring out what to wear as a BCBA is really like a puzzle, because you want to look professional, but you want to be comfortable. You want to be seen as an expert, but you don't want to stand out like this grandiose fashion model because you don't want reactivity from the clients. So I always find myself doing this dance in my closet about what is it that I am supposed to wear to do this job. You may want to take some time once you become a BCBA and invest in a new wardrobe that makes you feel good, makes you feel professional, and that expresses who you are as a behavior analyst. One of the biggest reoccurring fees that I get as a BCBA is continuing education units. That's right, CEUs. We are required to get 32 CEUs per credentialing cycle, which is every 2 years. So CEUs typically run you between $10 to $20 depending on who's presenting. Usually you should be able to get a CEU for $10. So if you multiply 10 by 32, 20 by 32, that's how much you should expect to pay every 2 years just for your CEUs. I said this in previous videos. Don't wait to the end of your credentialing cycle to get all of your CEUs, because if you don't have an extra $300 or $400 stacked away, then you are going to run into an issue where it's time for you to re-credential and you don't have the money or the time to get 32 hours worth of continuing education units. So this is something you want to do throughout your years, throughout the months, because it can be really expensive if you wait and get it all. Another really big expense that I've experienced is professional conferences. So I've been to a number of professional conferences as a BCBA, and I presented at a number of professional conferences as a BCBA. Even as a presenter, I still had to pay for registration, hotel, room and board. I had to pay for my own food. You may have to pay for additional activities like award ceremonies or parties or luncheons or just whatever you're going to do within the city. So here are some pretty popular ABA professional conferences and some of the prices that are associated with those conferences. Don't forget, you also have to pay for room and board. I remember my very first conference, I got a bill of $1,000 for the hotel. And that's because these conferences aren't at your regular schmegular hotels, okay? These are nice hotels. This was my very first time having to pay a stack for a hotel. So what you can do is find you a roommate. Ask around, see if anyone else is going to the conference and see if they want to share a room and share that cost with you. As a behavior analyst, another really expensive, another reoccurring bill that I find myself paying is for my car. As a BCBA, I've always had to have a reliable vehicle. I've mainly worked in home, where I'm driving from this side of town to that side of town to this client's home to that client's home. And I've even worked in group homes, but they all require a great amount of commute and travel. So I had to have a reliable vehicle. If you are a behavior analyst who does not have a car, comment below and tell me your secret. Asking for a friend. With a car also comes insurance and upkeep and just all of the things, especially if you live in a cold city like Chicago. You got to get your tires rotated. You got to get just all of these things to make sure that we can get to work. So that is another bill. Did I mention materials? By the end of the year, teachers pay teachers should be called Dom the BCBA Mom Pay Teachers, because literally they just take all my money. I use Teachers Pay Teachers very frequently. If I need a quick token board, if I need a quick social story, if I need some quick picture cards, or just a different program that's holiday related or that's specific to help create some of my programming. Typically, Teachers Pay Teachers is very affordable. Sometimes you can get materials for like $1, $2. I think the most I've ever paid for one download was about $14. So a year, I don't know, I probably pay about $100 towards Teachers Pay Teachers. But we cannot forget, after we download that information, we still have to print it, we have to laminate it, we have to Velcro it, we gotta cut it, and we have to store it. So because of that, I found myself buying my own printer, my own laminating machine, my own strip of Velcro, and just everything that I need. I need to have everything that I need readily available so that I can set myself up for success. I never want to get to a place where I'm stuck, or I'm waiting for someone else, or I'm waiting for the office to open so I can print, or so that I can laminate. So I just bought all of that stuff myself, and you can write that off on your taxes because you use that for your job, just like your wardrobe. Let's not forget about liability insurance. Liability insurance usually runs you about $300 per year for $1 million policy. Typically, as BCBAs, if we are working with an agency, or if we're working as a sole proprietor, if we're working alone, $1 million policy is usually a policy that will suffice. And I use a company called CPH and Associates. Now it's time to recertify. Did you think that was free? Well, it is not. In order to maintain your BCBA certification, or to recertify every 2 years, you have to pay $215 application fee. If you miss that deadline, dun dun dun, you're gonna get kicked off the board. No, I'm just playing. If you miss that deadline, you just have to pay an additional $50. So either way, the BACB is gonna get their money. Last but not least, our favorite thing to buy is reinforcers. Whether we are buying reinforcers for our clients, like puzzles and slime and putty and fidgets, and just like, I've bought so many things for my clients. But I also buy reinforcements for myself. I think as BCBAs, it's very important to mitigate burnout and stress. So what I do is I get a gym membership. I have a membership to get a monthly massage to help with stress. Self-care essentials, your favorite coffee mug, 3 cups of Starbucks per day because you are rocking it and killing it. So there you have it, the real cost of being a BCBA. The question is it worth it? For me, 100%. I don't even think about the cost on a daily basis because I am so fulfilled in this job and in this career. I love making an impact. It's literally, I will spend my last on a client just because I love my clients, you know? So at some point it does become a labor of love, but I'm glad that you took the time to do the research to know, is it worth it? What do you think? All right, well, that's all that I have for you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Comment down below if you have any questions. If you want to add to this list, I feel like this list should just keep growing and growing so that people know what they're getting themselves into. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.